Hi, it's David Harris. Today on the Waypoint, we'll discuss the pros and cons of prime and subcontracting. We'll talk about which position gives your company more earning power and how your choices may affect your company's reputation. We'll even answer the big question, which makes most money? We'll meet at the Waypoint to figure out when you should lead and when you should follow. Before we begin today's topic, I'd like to answer a couple of questions from the last show we discussed breaking into federal contracting. Ted from Alabama wants to know, what if you have a target list and have established initial left and right boundaries, but need help kickstarting your idea? Well, my advice is phone a friend. Bounce those ideas off somebody in the industry, maybe even someone with outside of the industry, just to get critical feedback on what it is that you are thinking about and get some credible feedback associated with your idea. Steve from Florida asks, how does someone with a thought put it to paper, secure funding, build infrastructure, if necessary, market it, and make the public aware of this business? Well, you have the right thought, Steve. You do need to put it on paper. It doesn't have to be in succinct or sequential order, but you need to put those thoughts on the paper and then start to structure them in a way that you can execute those thoughts. Securing funding is a little tricky. I would talk to your local bank. I particularly like small regional banks, not the big banks, because they're able to work with you. To secure that funding, you can go through the SBA, get an SBA loan, or even loans through the bank themselves. Sometimes the banks ask you for collateral, sometimes they don't, but I would suggest you talk with your local bank. Building the infrastructure. I really don't think in this day and age you need a huge infrastructure. The major things that you probably will need are a website, maybe even a LinkedIn page. Social media presence is key. And in addition to that, I think that you really want to focus on the accounting aspect of your company, because as you grow, you'll have more receivables, more accounts payable, and you need a way to track that. Getting a capability statement together, what it is that you actually want to do, and I think that kind of comes back to your first question about putting your thoughts on paper. And run with it, Steve, run with it. There's a lot of material out there, but I hope that helps you. Thanks for your questions. Keep them coming. You'll never know when your question may help someone else. Now let's explore today's topic, prime versus sub. When you're a prime contractor, your company leads the effort to win a contract and may even get the majority of the positions on the contract. You also set pricing targets and oftentimes make the most money. But mainly you get paid first. Also as a prime, you're required to manage the work, lead customer engagement, and make sure everyone on the contract follows government rules. When I first started, I thought being a prime was the only way to control my destiny. I look at being a subcontractor as something bad. I didn't realize that being a prime as a small business means sometimes taking on too much risk and responsibility. As a sub, you have less obligation with high rewards. You endeavor to maintain a partnership with current capabilities and expand your capabilities with a partnership. Subs generally are invisible and get less fear and loathing from customers if there is an issue. The downside to subbing is you can't always make confident financial decisions. The customer may decrease or increase the program scope, and you don't get the opportunity to really renegotiate with the government. You're beholden to your prime. So, a couple questions. How well can your company meet the requirements of the contract based on your technical experience and past performance? Number two, do you have the bandwidth to manage that contract on a daily basis? Number three, what position moves you closer to achieve your company goals? And as a bonus, do you need to be mentored through the performance of this contract, or can you mentor someone else? Well, we come to the end of our time. Send your questions to waypoint@advancedvllc.com, and I'll answer them next time we're here at the Waypoint. Let's journey together.